Is that for real, Loop? Is the recklessness of youth actually a weed strain? Or are you just saying that because this guy is a big old stoner?
And so, Camilla ended up in the hands of the kidnappers. We weren't able to change that part.
Ah, okay.
Lynn listened to my story without saying anything. I'm sorry. I wish there was something else I could have done.
No, you did the best you could. I'm sure she's all right. After all,
she has me.
Yes!
Missile? Are you in there?
Miss Lynn, leave Miss Camilla to me. I know I don't look like much right now, but I'm sure I can help her.
Missile.
Eek!
Bye, Missile.
Bye, Missile.
Miss Lynn!
And then Missile was gone forever.
Yep. I'm going to leave it up to Missile. Lynn
Okay.
is the smartest character in this game. Like, Missile's fucking determination literally moved mountains. I think Missile has got this.
It kind of looks like Missile is being left up to the wind.
God, this man. I have something to give you. Stop the park from being turned into a housing site. Protect the park, the rock of the gods.
Aren't you forgetting your promise?
Oh, pardon me, pardon me. My apologies. This is for you. Oh. Oh my god, Lynn, where did you get that jacket? Those pockets are incredible.
Why doesn't everyone have these?
Jesus. You kept the music box safe, didn't you? Thank you. Not at all. I was only doing what the rock of the gods would have wanted. Donk.
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue?
He's mesmerized by my beauty. Hey! The cat's not allowed to get your tongue. Excuse me, but are you... No, it couldn't be. Have we met before? Aren't you that little girl from that time? I'll never forget it. It was 10 years ago in this park. 10 years ago? Are you talking about...
Have you met this strange young man before, Lynn?
I don't remember, but he said 10 years ago, and this park... It could only be one thing that I can think of.
It looks like better talk to Mr. Leaflet here.
Here in this park, the gods surely control fate. Today, 10 years from that day, we meet once again.
10 years from the day?
Wow, weirdo. If that isn't the power of the gods, then what else is it? A contrived narrative.
the power of contrivance. It could just be coincidence. But apparently you know our lady detective here. Could you tell us about it? About what happened 10 years ago? Also, how old are you? Because you don't look like you look like you're in your 20s at best.
Yes, of course. I was actually about to do just that.
Tell me about the Rock of the Gods first. What's
Yeah.
this Rock of the Gods you keep mentioning?
Don't you know? It's right there in front of us.
That dog.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, Missile. Wait a minute. You said gods, G-O-D-S, but do you mean D-O-G-S? Of course not. Don't be silly. This is no time for ridiculous word games.
That's where I draw the line. That's stupid.
You are standing just above the rock of the gods now. Take a good look at that monument. Monument? It's just a dog. It's just a giant dog.
Rock of the Gods, Temsic Park.
The Rock of the Gods.
It's a meteor.
The rock is buried in the ground right there. It's been there these 10 years. Ever since that day, it flew down from the heavens and showed us a miracle.
A miracle?
So this rock you've been talking about is a meteorite? Precisely. It dropped from the sky on that day 10 years ago. Oh my god, don't tell me. The rock is what killed the man who was holding Lynn hostage, so fucking what's-his-face didn't actually murder anybody?
I will lose my mind.
Yes, of course. Surely you know all about it. Me?
The rock actually hit Lynn and she died.
Oh god. That day, I just happened to be passing through this park. I had no idea that day would change my destiny. The sun was going down, and through the gloom, I heard the scream of a little girl. Just like today, in fact, where I was completely ineffective.
Eek!
Now just calm down and drop that weapon. Stay back. If you come any closer, I'll shoot her. Lynn just goes ragdoll. With a plunger?
Is that Lynn? Wasn't she wearing like a mini... Well, it probably doesn't matter too much. Maybe her outfit changed. I peeked out fearfully from the bushes and saw some shadowy figures. I didn't see the face of the criminal clearly, but I bet they were blue. I knew I should do something to help, but I couldn't move. I was like 6. The tension was so thick, it was painful. Just when I couldn't stand it any longer. That's when it happened. The sky suddenly burned bluish white. A rock fell from the heavens and crushed that man's head.
Oh my god, it actually did kill him.
Oh my god. When it crashed into the ground, the meteorite gave off a shower of beautiful fragments. And then I saw it. One of those beautiful fragments pierced into the criminal's back. Yep. This is so fucking contrived. I love it. The judgment of the gods was brought down on the park that day. "10 years ago, the little girl that was you was saved by the Rock of the Gods." Oh my, I can't believe it.
And I was there.
Yeah. The Rock of the Gods was given the name Temsic. A totally normal meteor in a game with ghost powers. And still today, it lies sleeping deep in the park's earth.
Okay, yeah, why Temsic? What significance does Temzik have?
I never knew about this Temzik.
You were there!
I always thought Detective Jowd was the one who saved me. Now I've learned that it's all a lie. He's not actually a hero at all.
In fact, he tried to get himself executed to protect his daughter, who wasn't even in any trouble.
Yeah, and instead of her being just a half orphan, he wanted to make her a full orphan. Because that would have made her happy and perfectly normal and well-adjusted as an adult. You were very young then. And you passed out from the shock of being taken hostage. Of course you wouldn't remember. And I mean, too, also, it sounds like, she was kind of, she was not in a position to see the man being pierced in the back by a meteorite.
Also, Hillary, oh no, I should have idolized The Rock instead. But that's funny. A huge incident like that should have caused quite a stir. It's strange you never heard of it, Lynn.
It is, isn't it? But now that I think about it, I remember I didn't want to think about what happened. I avoided the news, and I never came back to this park again. That's why I didn't know anything about it. It makes sense. The meteorite was named Temzik after the name of this park that it fell in.
Oh.
And then the Rock of the Gods was forgotten. Now, an awful thing is happening. They're talking about turning the park into a housing site. It would be terrible if unhoused people were to become housed by this housing site. I'll never forget the miracle I witnessed that day.
To be fair, it's probably
It's probably like super expensive high-rise apartments.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. The affordable housing, nah.
No, not in this city. I've been looking at Temzik backwards.
Kismet? Okay.
Kismet? And so, I've taken up residence in this park, and I'm trying to appeal to the people. Protect the park, the Rock of the Gods. That is my mission. But the heavy cloud of weed smoke scares most people away before I can get too close. I see. No one wants to talk to a weird young man who smells like skunk. It's sad, really.
And doesn't wear shoes.
I'm taking you with me, Missile.
Improvised weapon.
No! Missile suffered enough!
So, 10 years ago, the little girl that was Lynn wasn't aware of the meteorite. I get that, but Detective Jowd, on the other hand, there's no way he didn't know about this Temzik thing. And if he knew... And the man died. I took his life.
Maybe he's just like a big fucking weirdo who wants the
I want to go to jail so bad I get off on it.
I want to go to jail so bad, yeah.
What was that confession of his all about?
Kismet means fate in a very predestination kind of way. Thank you, Hillary and Loop.
Oh. The rocks of the gods that fell from the sky 10 years ago changed the destinies of many people's lives, like the ripples on a pond when a pebble is dropped in. With every answer I get, I learn about a new mystery. Will I be able to break the chain of mysteries before dawn? This game is like Butterfly Effect the game.
It really is.
Anyway, now that we have the evidence we need, we decide to meet up again at the minister's office. Besides, there are a few things I want to ask Detective Jowd. Specifically, what the fuck?
Yeah. We found the music box, Detective Jowd.
Good job, Lynn. I knew you would. Once everything had been resolved, I had wanted you to give this to him.
Him? You mean Inspector Cabanella, right?
I don't suppose he'll ever forgive me.
Detective Jowd, you're such an idiot.
Now then, let's get this thing open. There's a certain knack to doing it, you know. You gotta crank it. You gotta break it open.
That's the knack, huh?
He calls it.
You, Sissel.
He calls that a knack? It looks more like brute strength to me. There's a certain knack about getting this open. It's really stupid, which follows the rest of my logic just fine.
Yep, yep. Ah!
This absolutely should not have fit in this hammer space box.
This gun is even bigger than this box that fit into your pocket, Lynn.
You should find scorch marks on the grip.
Scorch marks?
When Camilla built her contraption, she used a special kind of string. It's the kind magicians use. It burns up in an instant and disappears.
Why would little Camilla use something like that? Because she's a fucking genius, that's why.
Why does little Camilla have access to these things? I don't know. Maybe because she's a detective's daughter? That is the most unsatisfying explanation!
God, this man.
Not leaving any evidence behind and all that.
That still doesn't explain how a 5-year-old had access to something like that.
In the case report, there was mention of some scorch marks. I'm going to keep looking down the barrel. Oh no! Oh. He was like looking down the barrel of the gun. I thought he just blew his own head off and we'd have to fix it.
That'd be hilarious.
When it happened, Camilla was watching from her hiding place. She saw the flame run to the gun, something she naturally didn't include in her design.
I would love to know why this man had a loaded gun with the safety off, just
on the wall?
Hanging on his wall, yeah. In his house that he shared with his wife and his 5-year-old daughter.
I took the gun out of the frame and replaced it with a picture. If you remove the picture, you should find scorch marks behind it on the frame, too. And those marks should match up with the ones on the gun.
In other words...
It proves the contraption existed there in that room that day. And it didn't work the way your little girl intended, is that right? Exactly. Some cowardly culprit modified the design. But that angle was never brought up in court. And so as Justice Minister...
Because the fucking machine wasn't brought up in court.
I must call off the execution at this point.
Oh my god. I knew I was right.
Of course you were right. Everything about this is so stupid.
Oh my god. All the men in this game are absolute morons. It wasn't Detective Jowd. Now we can finally prove that. Now that he's finally stopped saying, please, please execute me. Thank goodness. Oh, but where am I going to get executed now?
Where am I going to get my rocks off if no one's threatening to kill me? Thank you, Lynn. In those eyes of yours, I see the eyes of that little girl from 10 years ago. From that other man I didn't kill.
Yeah. Oh yeah, speaking of that time.
No, I don't want to... Actually, let's talk to everybody if I can. What's the matter? I just don't know. What should I have done 5 years ago? Back then, nobody had any way of knowing the true nature of the Manipulator. It wasn't anybody's fault that we didn't know the truth. But do you really think so?
Of course. Besides, what's important right now is deciding what to do next. Am I right?
Let's all go out for chicken.
Yeah.
She's right, Mr. Minister. Yes, of course. I do believe she is. What is it now? I just don't know. What should I do next?
I'm so used to being indecisive and wishy-washy about everything. You'll figure it out. We believe in you.
No,
Why?
somebody do it for me.
Why, Lynn?
Alright, motherfucker, let's talk. Sissel, if you hadn't come to my cell tonight, I would be gone by now without ever having known any of this. But this is what I deserve. That's what I told myself these past 5 years. But things are different now.
They're stupider.
Thanks to you, my eyes have finally been opened.
I'm an idiot.
Tonight, I've come into contact with a lot of people's lives and got involved in their fates. And the only reason I was doing it was to regain my own lost memory. But things are different now. We're connected to each other somehow. I just know it. And I need to know, why did you do so many stupid things? And that's why I need to ask you a few more questions in order to find the truth about us.
Woo.
Fair enough. Fire away.
Sissel told me all about it, Detective Jowd. About the Manipulator.
Yes, and it looks like this Manipulator really did a number on the Minister, too. Please don't pick on the Minister. If he dies again, I'm the one who has to save him.
Sissel, do you think that's what happened to me, too?
What are you talking about, Lynn?
Oh boy.
Don't tell me.
I killed Sissel.
You were manipulated too?
I murdered the shit out of him. And then I left him ass in the air. There was always a part of me that just couldn't believe it. That image of the one who... Oh, that's Sissel.
That image of the one who shot me. But now I see the possibility of a new explanation.
A stupid explanation.
Something even dumber.
But... who is it? And why did they do it? That contraption was a birthday surprise for Camilla's mother, wasn't it?
That's right.
Something's been bothering me about it. I feel like I know that device from somewhere. It's almost like I've been killed by it myself.
No surprise there. You lost your life once tonight because of that machine.
Right? I knew it! See, Detective Jowd? I'm the best little detective.
I
needed Sissel to remind me why that seemed familiar.
I figured it out by getting killed by it. No, I'm afraid I don't see.
One long and tedious explanation later.
I told Detective Jowd about it. Told him about seeing the exact same contraption tonight in a completely different place. That's very strange indeed. A junkyard on the edge of town? I've never even heard of that place. And what's more, I've never told a single soul about that contraption.
You haven't? Well, no shit, he
Yeah. That old pigeon guy.
hasn't.
Who in the world is he? Detective Jowd, you must have heard this name before. Temzik. The meteorite that fell in the park 10 years ago. You were there. So you found out about that, did you? I hear that meteorite saved Lynn's life. That's right. I couldn't do anything to help Lynn that day.
I just took credit for it.
But in that case, I don't get it. If it's true, doesn't it mean you didn't steal somebody's life away?
What are you talking about?
Detective Jowd, you told me that 10 years ago, the person who killed the perpetrator in the park was you.
What? But it was the meteorite.
I wasn't lying. I stole that man's life away. No question about it. It was entirely my fault. I was just about to shoot him. I would have shot him in the next instant if the meteorite hadn't come. At that point, I was already a murderer. What? What?
That's not true. You were trying to save me.
Lynn, I'm sorry, but I don't think that's really it.
Huh?
The truth about 10 years...
Oh my god. I love how every time we revisit this, it gets even more convoluted.
It's getting more and more dumb. On that day 10 years ago, a different incident happened in another place that I also am the murderer of. I have a condition, you see. I wish to take credit for every murder ever.
Another place?
Yes, in the police headquarters interrogation room.
Oh my god.
The worst sort of incident. A suspect who is being questioned escaped.
That's the worst? Wow, I didn't know about that.
I happened to be there in the detective division, so I joined the chase. Fortunately, or I guess unfortunately, I was able to track him down alone in the park. Hold it right there! I fired a warning shot. I wanted to catch him bad. I shot that bullet into the air, and that bullet pierced the hull of an aircraft, and then it crashed, and everyone died. That warning shot made him panic. At the time, I was a young and green detective brandishing my sense of justice like a sword. I made him panic and got you involved, Lynn. It was all my fault.
Oh my god.
And then you died that day.
I want things to be so badly my fault. Detective Jowd.
What the fuck?
You're such an idiot.
All I could see was my target. I couldn't even see you. I'm so sorry, Lynn.
I'm so sorry you had to fight out this way after dying several
Wait.
times in a single night. So, the man who grabbed me died that day. Yes!
These last 10 years, I've never forgotten his face. And then a few years after that, I killed again. When my wife Alma died in such a mysterious way. I thought it was fate, my punishment for what I'd done.
Oh my god.
What the You didn't kill anybody, dude!
Just get your head out of your own ass!
You didn't,
my god!
You did not kill anybody! You fired a warning shot and then the meteor killed this guy, so unless that warning shot, like, arced back and fell on someone's head, you're fine!
Jesus. He wants to be guilty of murder so badly.
I painted pictures in my cell. Nothing but portraits of people's faces. All the faces of the many people I'd met in my life and didn't want to forget. And tonight, I finished my last portrait, the final face I wanted to remember. The final face. The face of the man in the park that day. What?
What?
Wait just 1 minute. That can't be. I saw that painting. I saw the face you painted tonight.
Amazing.
It was my face. Are you telling me I was the man in the park that time?
Incredible.
That's right. That face of yours is the face I saw 10 years ago. The face of the man whose life I stole. Of the man who was pronounced dead at the scene.
Hold on, Detective Jowd.
I also killed him tonight!
Yeah. Like father, like daughter. We have so much in common, isn't that great? That can't be true. I just met Sissel for the first time tonight. And he died right in front of me.
By the way, the name that I know the man in the park that day by isn't Sissel.
What?
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 From the first minute I laid eyes on you tonight, I've been wondering, who in the world is this guy? This music is rocking.
I know, right?
Mr. Minister. Inspector Cabanella, where are you? Just be quiet and listen. This is our demand. What? Demand? Our demand hasn't changed. The execution must be tonight. Once we've confirmed it's been carried out, we'll release the hostage. What are you talking about, Inspector Cabanella? And you know it wasn't my daughter who was abducted. Does it really matter who the hostage is? A life is a life. Even if it's the daughter of a death row prisoner. Once the criminal gets the punishment he deserves, the hostage will go free. Carry out the execution immediately and wait for our call.
What is it, Mr. Minister? You look paler than ever. Would you like another entire bottle of medicine?
What in the world? What's going on? Inspector Cabanella!
No!
Oh, I feel faint! The rock of the gods that fell from the sky 10 years ago twisted the fates of many people and started a chain of tragic events. And, even now, the chain continues to grow ever longer. Inspector Cabanella's call proved that to us. And the greatest mystery of all has risen to the surface. Who is this me I've been chasing all night? Who am I? I'm even further from knowing than when I started. This is wild.
I know, right? Oh my god! 2:55 a.m.
Oh god, is it happening?
Man,
Is it happening?
man, it's happening!
Ah! Chapter
It's
15.
fucking close enough.
Chapter 15. Big Apple, 3 a.m.
Yes!
10 years ago, a man named Sissel took a little girl named Lynn hostage, and then was killed by a meteorite fragment. Tonight, a man named Sissel met a detective named Lynn at a junkyard on the edge of town, and then was killed by a bullet. Hold on.
Nice use of the passive voice there.
I'm trying to... Obviously, we could go back in time because of ghost powers. I'm wondering
Yes.
if there was some way that, like, after I was killed tonight or something like that, I was shunted into the past or something. I don't know, man. I don't know. This got really weird. This still... Jowd, you still haven't explained why you're like, any of this is, your fault. So, okay, if Sissel was the man from 10 years ago, that means he was arrested for questioning, so what did he do?
Yeah.
And then he escaped. Okay.
And then he escaped, took a little girl hostage, died
Yeah.
But he didn't die.
Okay. But the scene I find waiting for me on the other end of the phone line feels like the final nail in the coffin of my lost memory. I see myself. There you are, Commander Sith. Finally. What was the old voice I gave this one? Sissel, where have you been, my good man? We've been looking everywhere for you. Had a little unfinished business to take care of. Didn't think it would take this long. What about your people? They sure went out of their way to mess me up. I say, I believe we fulfilled every one of your conditions in our little deal. What right do you have to complain about anything outside our bargain? We can talk about that when we get together. This will be our last communication by telephone. We'll arrive in 1 hour. I look forward to seeing you, Sissel. Dawn is approaching. The darkness surrounding my own mystery is deep, but I know it's always darkest before the dawn. Yes. We're nearing the final stages of our little deal, my good man. Yes, sir. All preparations are complete, sir.
Thank God for the nipple man.
I know, I missed him. And we just had a report, sir. Lights have been spotted, sir. Have they now? By all means, let me have a look. Beep, 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 bop, beep, boop.
Smack.
Smack. Yes, we're very close.
You're just looking at his weird button nipples.
We will now disconnect from the communication cable and have no service until we arrive, sir. Very well. Beep, 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 beep. Slap. Time for some softball-sized grapes. Are they in a ship? A submarine?
A submarine?
What the fuck am I watching? Nice try, Inspector Cabanella. But you could never stop me.
Oh, so sinister.
See ya, sucker.
God, I love his design. It's
I know.
so good.
He's so fucking smooth looking. So.
Boy, Cabanella's gonna get a surprise when we go talk to him.
So, the fuck? That submarine guy and his people have a deal going on with me, do they? If that's the case, they probably aren't the ones who killed me, right? Anyway, there's definitely something behind the inspector's death. I think I'd better talk to him. This is so fucking wild. Hey, do you think you could wake up for me? No, fuck you! Oh boy, still unconscious, huh? I guess he hasn't been dead for very long then. I'll just go ahead and go back to 4 minutes before his death. I'm a little nervous about what I might see there, though. But if that's where I'm gonna find my answers, I can't run away from it. But once the criminal gets the punishment he deserves, the hostages will go free. Carry out the execution immediately and wait for our call. That's a good boy. Gee, a hostage sure is a handy thing. It gives me complete control over the top police inspector in the country. Oh, just kill me, baby.
My tummy hurts.
What's the matter? All those broken bones smart a bit?
Oh, damn.
What's it like to feel pain? Does it make you feel alive? Why are you doing this? Now, is that any kind of question for a top inspector to ask? Isn't it obvious? Revenge, of course. Revenge on all the people who stole my life away 10 years ago. Don't be ridiculous. It was a meteorite that stole your life. Or have you forgotten that? Ooh. Wrong.
Sissel?
I was murdered by all of you.
Hey, Sissel, your hand. That's,
Detective Jowd, who chased me down and forced me into a corner even though I was innocent. Lynn, that girl who was right there where I was running. Lynn? She was just an innocent little girl playing in the park. If that brat hadn't been there, I never would have thought of taking a hostage.
Yeah, blame the woman.
That's the most self-centered garbage I've ever heard, and my partner tried to get himself executed. For nothing. And finally, you, Inspector Cabanella. Me? If you hadn't done what you did, I never would have pointed a gun at that kid. You were so proud of your spotless record. And my case was the one blot on it, wasn't it? Only 2 people know the real truth. Me and Detective Jowd. I bet tonight's execution will be quite a relief to you, won't it? One of the people who know about the stain on your record will disappear for good. That's why you didn't help him escape from prison. That's the kind of guy you are. My bones. I got nothing to say to you. You'll never listen anyway. Oh, he doesn't feel anything. He's just gonna get right up.
Yeah. Is he just a ghost manipulating
You know,
his dead body?
I think he is, yeah. Eugh, gods. Now then, Inspector. Time to make a big red stain on your spotless white coat. This was another condition of my deal. To wipe out everybody who knew about Temzik.
Damn.
God, this is really cool. Okay, so the meteor has magic fucking powers.
It must.
Revenge? That's what I'm up to? Okay, Sissel, you have to be at least, like, marginally aware that that's not you. None of this makes any sense. Hey, man. Mind telling me what's going on? Inspector Cavanella, he's awake. My head's spinning, baby. Might understand. That Cavanella character who just got shot is me? That's right. And you're supposed to be the scoundrel there who just shot me? I guess so. But you couldn't be, could you? Huh? After all, the guy in the red suit just walked out the door, right? So, who are you? I guess I just have to face it. I'm not that Sissel guy. I'm somebody who's searching for himself. That's why I'm here to save you. At the very least, you have information about that guy in red. Information I need. So you came on a rescue mission now, did you? Nothing like the sound of that, baby. Because there's a very important life here somewhere. A life valuable to this nation. Okay, so do your thing, baby.
Incredible. What are we gonna do?
There's so much happening and I love it. That's a good boy. Gee, a hostage sure is a handy thing. We saw that. So, are you a manipulator too? I have ghost tricks, powers of the dead, yeah, but I can't control living creatures. Anywho, I think you'd better be very careful. That guy in red is a manipulator. Naturally, he knows about powers like yours. If he realizes you're here, things might get a little sticky. You're right.
Oh no, he's gonna put jam on everything.
I better be careful. Look at him. There's that something emanating from his body. Is it really the sign of having special powers of the dead? Kinda wanna see if I can go poke it. And it's not. What's going on? I've never seen the ghost world like this.
It's blue.
So you're here, are you? He sensed my presence. Oh! I noticed you. I like how he's looking at us.
Yeah, that's great.
I noticed you. You think you could stop me, do you? I don't know why you're wearing my face. But you might as well give up now. I control everything. Damn it! Everything, including the life of this police inspector in white. Wait, don't shoot! Nah.
Nah.
Ha! This other me knows the powers of the dead well. Who wouldn't notice what you just did? You were practically shouting, "Look at me, baby!" Looks like it might be hard to save you under these circumstances. I guess I can't use my powers right in front of him like that.
Curses, we've actually found the one character in this game who's actually observant.
Yeah. This game is really cool. The top of this bookshelf is lined with books. This one on top is balanced so precariously it's a wonder it doesn't fall off. How did the old pigeon guy even reach up here? I wonder if he makes his pigeon fetch it for him. Okay, the helmet tipped him off.
Closing the lid didn't.
No. Oh, he's gonna knock the kettle onto the floor.
Right.
Okay, I can use that. I gotta wait for that. Yeah, okay. Let's go ahead and... Yeah, there we go. Boom.